Hello guys, this is Alberto with another episode of Mechanics Do Yourself. I'll be removing a 1993 Honda Civic starter. Loosen up the bolts already to show you that I'm pulling it out, but I'll go through the steps with you all. And it shouldn't take that long. Here it is. Okay, you'll be needing just a few tools, which is not much. Here's the equipment. A 3/8 ratchet, 6-inch extension, 14 millimeter socket. It could be the small one or the big one. A breaker bar, because most likely your bolts of your starter will be tight. 12 millimeter wrench, 10 millimeter wrench, and like I said, 10 millimeter socket, 12 millimeter socket, and 14 millimeter socket. I firstly, of course, remove your negative cable. To use the 10 millimeter socket to remove it. This is the negative, this is the positive. Again, 10 millimeter socket to remove it. You may have to remove, which I already did, the air intake that goes over here. It's a clamp. It has a couple screws, so you take it off. I have removed this bolt already. That is the harness for the cables. One of the bolts is there for the starter. I'll loosen it up. The other bolt, do my best, goes right in there. It just fell, which is down there. So the bolt is here, goes in there. You use a ratchet to remove them. 3/8 ratchets with 14 millimeter socket. So this is the location. You have to move a couple hoses over. That is the bolt. So my ratchet going in there, so the bolt goes right in there. And the other one is on the bottom. Had to go through here. I'll position my wrench and I'll show you. Okay. This is the bottom bolt. As you see, I just pulled it out. This is how the wrench gets located. You will have to remove the transmission dipstick that goes in there. So you just pull it out. It has a groove. Pull it out. Set it on a good place where it doesn't get contaminated. Located your wrench, and you just start twisting it kind of clockwise. So once you do that, you remove the bolt, and again, it fell the bolt. You remove this one too. It's just located right at the base of the starter. That's the starter. So is this two of these bolts. The tall one, the long one goes on top. And the short one, which is this one, goes on the bottom. You can tell the difference. Even if you try to put it backwards, you're gonna have some slack in this. So tall one on top, short one on the bottom. Then you proceed to use a 10 millimeter socket to unplug the power to the starter. Same thing, use a wrench. I mean, you can use a wrench, but I use my 3/8 ratchet, so 16th extension, and you had to go like this, and kind of clockwise, like I said. So it goes this way. Once it's loose, you removed it. So some of them have washers, some don't. This is your nut. You can use a magnet to retrieve things. This is the signal for the solenoid to engage the starter. Be careful with these pieces so you don't break it. Okay, got loose a little bit, so I had to put super glue. And this is the spade connector, so carefully hold it, make sure your spade connector is a good shape, which it is, and inside the starter, which it is. Then the starter is going to move this way, backward, like so, and it comes out. And there you go, that's your starter. This starter is from the dealer, run at about $250. You can get it on your local power store, which it could be AutoZone, Advanced Auto Parts, or at least Napa, places like those. And I'm gonna take it to get it tested out. There's a way of testing it, which is putting your negative here. I'm gonna bring some starting cables and clamp the negative here. Your positive goes here with your positive, and you get your, I think this is the reason well, it still look like it's connected, but my car got, it just sit there for a long time. I think it got corroded inside. That's why I'm removing the starter, because I checked the signal. You leave the battery connected, and you try to start the car. You remove these connector, you bring a multimeter, and you test it from the negative, any part of the frame of the car, which is right here. Right here is part of the starter, or here, and you bring your multimeter and put your the other lead in this cable, so negative, and this for positive of your multimeter. And when somebody tries to start it either with your remote control or your key, and you tell them to get it started, you'll get voltage. That means that current is going into your solenoid, and also for the starter there's a switch in here that it gives power to the motor, which is encased inside here. And I'm sorry, this is your motor with the gears going in here to move your engine, and this is the solenoid to give power to engage the gears. It's like a transmission, and engage the gears that is moving, this motor is moving, the movement from this motor to these other gear, and to move the engine. So it disconnects when the engine starts, so this doesn't get damaged. This is the power going from here to the motor. So it's all synchronized. I'll bring some cables to see if I can test it quick. If I can't, then I'm going to take it to Auto Parts if it's bad. Then I'll replace it, install it again, and try to start the car. I already checked the fuses which are here. They're all good. I will show you. So you gotta test them all with a multimeter. There's another location for you to check fuses. The engine signal is 7.5 amps. It's right here. where your pedals go, you move this, and it tells you there what is the fuses that you might need to check into. But the only one for the starter is this one right here. It's 7.5 volt, 7.5 amps starter signal. I'm sorry, the light, it's making it a little blurry. And that fuse is right here. I already tested, it's good. The rest are good. So my best guess is that